Welcome back, YouTube fam. It's Pirate Bucky here. Dilemma, Game 6 of the World Series is tonight. Blue Jays lead the series 3-2. I'm in a dilemma. Went to the Dodgers game earlier this year, where they were handing out replica rings against the Minnesota Twins. Got a Clayton Kershaw replica ring. It's pretty nice. I have it unboxed. Probably going to put it back. I will probably put it back in the box shortly because it's a Kershaw replica ring. And to be honest, I could sell that for a lot of money. Then over here, I have my Youth Baseball Blue Jays hat. I missed that logo. Yes, it was rough times for the Blue Jays when they rebranded to that before rebranding back to their old logo, which I can prove that over here. That logo. But I still like that logo. I still like the 2000s logo. Now, y'all see this board. Never really mentioned it before, but the X's and O's are the teams that I have been to and have not been to. Obviously, you can see the Angels, Diamondbacks, Dodgers, and the Padres are still circled. I have yet to update this, and my mom is very upset that I have done this. But I'm keeping track of all the teams that I have been to. Started this back in 2013 officially. We hit teams here and there. So the Washington Nationals, we did a DC trip, saw a Nationals game. Of course, the White Sox and Cubs, being here in the Chicagoland area, I had to go, being here in Illinois, I had to go to a Cubs and White Sox game. It's a must. Back when the White Sox, coming off of their World Series title in 2005, and when the Cubs were sadly falling into the dumpster before coming back out in 2015. Of course, then you still got the Miami Marlins, Tampa Bay Rays, and the Atlanta Braves still circled. Those are the final three teams I have yet to see at their stadium, and we are planning on doing that next year. We're just waiting for the Tampa Bay Rays Tropicana Field, which in my opinion needs to just be renovated completely, torn down, new stadium built. If you have to relocate somewhere in Tampa Bay. I'm sure Tampa Bay would want the Rays in the city part, not in St. Petersburg, but, whatever. Now, our first game of the trip was in Philadelphia. We saw the Philadelphia Phillies. They were in their post-2008 World Series. Team just falling off. Whatever. So in 2013, of course, the sad Boston Marathon bombing happened. Sure, I'm going to get demonetized for saying that. But the Red Sox were doing their Boston strong. So the game that we went to got rained out. So the tickets that we had got rained out. It was like a Friday night game, I believe. It got rained out. So the next day, they did a doubleheader. We were able to get in because we had paid tickets originally. And game was fun, Fenway Park, still, my opinion, the best ballpark I have ever been to. The atmosphere was great. Fans were great. Philly fans were a little bit chaotic. Yankees fans and Mets fans, they just were down in the dumps of being trash. So they couldn't get really too excited. The Red Sox were the first team that we have been to end up in the World Series and win the World Series. They did that in 2013. I called a home run. I didn't catch it. We were sitting in the first base foul territory side, and I looked up, and I remember Stephen Drew came up the bat, 7 home runs on the year, and I go, this man needs a home run. Pointed it right into the bullpen. Very next pitch, what does he do? Hits it right to where I pointed. Whole entire crowd goes crazy. And, of course, I'm screaming, I called it. The whole entire section's going bananas because they all heard me yell it. He needs a home run right here. It was just really fun. And so the Red Sox became the first team that we have been to make it to the World Series. Then, of course, there was a couple hiatus. Then in 2016, we went to Cleveland. Again, 2 improbable 3-1 comebacks in the team's respective series. Again, the Cubs were down 3-1 to the Indians at the time, now the Guardians. And the Warriors were up 3-1 to the Cavaliers. Only fitting that we went during the summer, right? Only fitting that we are in Cleveland for Game 7 of the NBA Finals, which was in Golden State. And we turn the game on, and we see the Cavs win. So the whole entire crowd goes crazy. There's a girl twerking on a car door. It was funny. So we go down. We're just like hooping and hollering, my brother and I. We're just having a blast. Again, deep down, it's LeBron, right? So, of course, I don't like LeBron. He's not my GOAT. Michael Jordan's my GOAT. And people are like, well, you can't say that because you haven't seen Michael Jordan. Okay, then it's Kobe. Then if you're going to say that, Kobe was as close as you can get to MJ. And LeBron is going on another team. That's what his GOAT means. Going on another team. I'm not getting into a LeBron James rant. I'm sorry. But, yeah. So that was fun being in Cleveland. Then again, the Cubs being down 3-1. My brother, he was rooting for the Guardians at the time, Indians to win. I was rooting for the Cubs being a Chicagoan. Wanted the Cubs to win. Cubs end up winning, and my goodness gracious, did a lot of people turn out to that World Series parade. Don't blame them. 108 years in the making, don't blame them. Sure, a lot of people would have turned out for the Cleveland Guardians, Indians series parade too. But yeah, then it was a couple years, about 7 years later, till another team ended up making it to the World Series. And that was the Texas Rangers. It came down between the Astros and the Texas Rangers and the ALCS. And of course, we just went to those 2 games, and I said it. What we are going to see, and fittingly, it was a Texas Rangers-Houston Astros game, with the Astros walking it off on a single. Funny thing about the Red Sox, we had a walk-off broken bat single in the Red Sox game, only for them to fall in the second game. Normally, that's how it goes in baseball doubleheaders. But the Astros ended up beating the Rangers when we were there on a walk-off single. Fun atmosphere. Everyone was fun. Don't think there was an atmosphere that we've been to that hasn't been fun. I think every atmosphere has been fun. Dodger Stadium, great seats. Again, you've probably seen this. This summer, I was on crutches and a leg brace, torn meniscus, had surgery done. Been a long road, long recovery that's been happening, and it still has been happening. So yeah. Let's see. So yeah, today's gonna be a dilemma. Today is gonna be a dilemma. Deep down, I want the Blue Jays to win. I don't want to see it go to Game 7 because I know the Dodgers will win Game 7, so I want the Blue Jays to close it out here tonight. Obviously, tomorrow, got a big game too, being a Chicago Fire fan. I can thank my old roommate for that. He got me into MLS, got me in the Chicago Fire. Greg Berhalter, great turnaround. Made history with beating Orlando FC in the wild card. Got to come out. They got to show out tomorrow against Philadelphia if they want their season to continue. Was hoping to go to that game. Unfortunately, won't be able to. It's what it is. I'm not all that deeply upset. All that. Then of course on Sunday, I got my Chicago Bears in action on Sunday against the Cincinnati Bengals. And deep down, I wish I had an updated board on this. I want the Bengals to return back to the Bengal Tiger logo. I want the Bengal Tiger cross midfield. The B is just boring for me. And I want an updated logo of the Bears to the actual bear. Which would be amazing to have. Anthony Edwards bobblehead. I do have a couple bobbleheads. I got Hank Aaron, who has lost his bat. Lyle Overbay. Got that at a Brewers game. And when I was in Minnesota, had a radio job. Went to a radio station function. Saw a Timberwolves game for free. Got an Anthony Edwards bobblehead there as well. Chicago Blackhawks doing really well this year. So it's been a fun time in Chicago lately. Bears are back to doing what they always do, and that's probably another 10-game losing streak. Don't know if I'm going to be too happy about that. If y'all haven't already noticed, I keep on moving around on my camera. It's because my selfie camera doesn't work. I'm going to be asking for a microphone, tiny one that I can have that I will sound a lot better. And eventually when I get back to working, make enough money so I can get a new cell phone. Because this one camera's busted. That's why you're going to be hearing a lot of noise from my camera. On vacations, I take what I call a pretendo. It's this huge honking red thing. Literally exactly what you think it is. As the old Nintendo games, really old. This is fun to play. Mainly play baseball and Super Mario on it. So yeah. Looking back to getting back to these regularly, especially with me being out of work. So I will have another one being uploaded next week. Probably actually a couple. And then if I end up getting a job, I am getting an interview lined up for a job next week. So it's possible that the next week it may be a while till I repost. I'm going to try for right now to make this a daily during the weekday current of posting on my channel. Just trying to get back into the flow of things. But yeah, don't tear your knee. Don't break your knee apart. Longest recovery ever. From what I've been told, you don't really ever heal from it because of the arthritis now that you get in your knee. And the pain's just constantly there. Never gonna stop. So, just whatever you do, don't ever tear your knee apart. Love you guys. Y'all come out back again. Be posting again on Monday for sure. And hopefully the rest of that week. Slide up. Let me know. Who do you want to win the Super Bowl, the NBA Finals, and the Stanley Cup? Won't ask for MLS because the playoffs are just right now. And to be honest, no one outside of my former roommate and I care about Major League Soccer. Deep down, I would love it to be his Minnesota Loons against the Chicago Fire. I think that would be a great matchup. But yeah, anyway, let me know. Slide up. Hit the like button. Subscribe. I want to get to 100 followers, 100 subscribers by the end of December. So, yeah, I am officially back to doing vlogs. Peace.